All right, here she is. That colorful black background's gonna make me awake. Woo! She back. How you doing?
She's back.
She is back and she is ready. Hey, girl. Hey.
Hey, girl. Hey.
What is going good?
Everything's going good. So, T-minus 3 hours ago?
Yeah, I know. Hey, listen.
We had an unfinished hat, but we have a finished one.
Oh my God, that is a dope hat. Check that hat out.
And I put on the top so I match.
Oh man, that is bright.
Right.
I love that.
I know we're supposed to announce, not to, sidebar or anything, but this is going to be the giveaway.
Okay, I love it.
Complete. It was all done on live, whether it be Facebook or Instagram on one of my pages. But
okay.
That was a way of reeling people in because, this hour is like when people are actually up. So we can bring you, girlfriend.
I love it. I'm here. I have the energy. I'm not lacking in energy. I'm awake. I've not had a lick of coffee. I'm totally fine.
You know why? You are living out your dream right now. There's nothing better than that. Okay?
That's right. That is right. Okay. So now, few things. You are what's the challenge? You rolling.
Get your roll on.
That's right. # get your roll on. That's right. I got my roll on.
Yes, you did, and you're so cute. I got my roll on so many times.
I sent you like 2 videos. I was like, I don't know what you want, and also I didn't even do it to music. I'm like, I'm doing it silently to an imaginary beat, and then you were like, don't worry, DJ got this beat. And then we threw it down.
DJ Ladybug on a 1s and 2s.
That's right. She's like, that's not what her beats sound like at all. That's like R2D2, I think.
Yes.
No, that's not her beats at all. So since you last came on, we have surpassed $5,000 for. That is correct. That is correct, Amundo.
That's amazing.
Yeah, but you know what? We're not done.
Yeah, it's a 12 hours.
Yeah, they're like 11. They're 10 and a half hours. Producer John. That's right. 10 and a half hours. 10 and a half hours. Woo! All right. Chantal, you're here. And you're here to tell us about the power of the stage, which you mentioned earlier, kind of briefly, but now you're going to go a little bit deeply into.
I am going to go deep into it. So, Estelle Ladybug, for those who are just checking in who have not seen my face, I'm sorry. I'm introducing myself to you now. I love you all. I live for yarn, as you can tell. I am the founder and creative director of Yarn Movement. Yarn Movement is a global fashion and lifestyle brand created to inspire consumers to value craftsmanship. And because this is a crafters community, we all understand I don't have to dive in deep to understand what kind of hours, what kind of energy and love we put into the things we make, and people need to respect that. So, with that being said, the power of the stitch is important because it has been the key to my happiness. Literally, I am always happy, and people who know me know that, and it's authentic, and I blame it on the yarn. I started my first business 20 years ago as a freshman in college, and it's been on and rolling ever since. And it's been the key of me not living a life of scarcity, because it allowed me to be in a space where I was both theoretically and economically empowered to really be in a space where I can make decisions and really go for the things that I actually want versus taking on new opportunities because it was in front of me and I had to. So it is my goal throughout, not only with Yarn Movement, I'm going to show you some pieces because I've been working my butt off over the course of being locked away, which, for a crafter, we get to be in our room of yarn. We get to live out this dream. And for me, I always like to think of my mind as like Willy Wonka Chocolate Factory when you get the opportunity to walk through those doors and it's just like,
That's very true.
Maybe all the things that are, like in my mind and visualized may not be physically present as of yet, but I'm working on them, right? So let's start off with a shirt that I actually put on. It was previously on the mannequin behind me, one of those, but I replaced it with this other number, right? So it's a skirt. It's gray square skirt.
I love it.
And then it's a top to go with it with some tassels here.
Love the fringe.
I love
the fringe.
It's just my way of answering, I like to tell people that crochet is for everyone. It's not just for a particular few. I started really my journey with making swimwear, and I was only making tops. I wasn't making bottoms, and during that time, it was still like the heavy worsted yarn. I hadn't really started exploring into things because during that time, it was just maybe something that was a swimwear top, bikini top, but it was worn like dance hall, going to the club and doing those things. But, over the years, I've been able to really stretch it out and really get it to a place where now I've launched a male line. Everything is swimmable, washable, unisex. I have something for everyone. Right. But let's get into some of these really cool things. So
I have a question though.
Okay.
Why, like with your top that you have over there that you made, what,
Mm-hmm.
how do you get it, this is my thing about designing pieces, and I never know, like, what made you say, like, I'm gonna put fringe here? Like, what you were like, I don't want anyone to see my midsection? Like, how do you, because that looks really awesome. And the way that you put the colors there, like, how do you do that?
The thought process is always like I think of the consumer and the owner first.
Okay.
Like, who are they? What do they do in their lifestyle? What kind of things will cause friction, meaning causing friction from them? Maybe the purchase power is always something that happens, but the friction may be, okay, am I really going to wear this, and how often am I going to wear it? My goal is to make the things that, where you get it, it becomes a part of your repertoire. This is my favorite shirt, jacket, pants. This is what I'm going to wear. When you see it, it's great. The story that is stitched into it becomes the story of the person who wears it. And by the time someone else sees it, it's like, oh, now we have a three-way story that's being shared throughout. And it started with the beginning of the stitch. That's why I say it's the power of the stitch. It's the capability of going through. I treat all of my clients as, like my personal friends. I get into their life. So I want them to be able, when they put it on, it felt like it was made for them, with them in mind. So the question about putting the tassels here, as women, we carry a lot of stress in our back. And we carry, we go through these motions of eating food, having sugar, and what used to be a, six-pack or clothes is now a little fluffy. But it shouldn't stop you from wearing what you want to wear, right? And so you just cover it up.
Yep. Fair.
Just cover it up. And then if you lose it again, you can still wear it, but the goal is that it's going to stretch with your body and stay with you, and you don't have to get rid of it. The longevity of the stitches are, what really makes it special. This is not machine made, it's handmade to fit your body and custom tailored to you.
I love that.
That's why I like it.
I just felt like it was a really good question to ask, so I wanted to ask. Continue with the show and tell. Go.
So, Shara, a couple weeks ago, I was like in frantic mode, right? Because I did this shoot in Tulum. Like, I have all these models who are in Tulum, and these pants are something that people are seeing and like, oh, I want pants. And I was testing the yarn to see if it was going to be perfect. So the Dream Maker has now been discontinued, right? But I made the samples, and also I found it. But I went on a do or die. I found it in 4 hours. But the pants are done. So these are my knickers.
Oh, these are sick.
So it has a elastic waist. So again, the goal is to think about the person who's wearing it. If you want to wear it, you can dress it up, down. If you're just throwing something on to go to the store, You can put these on. They stretch your body, of course, because of the stretchiness of the material. And then it flows right into the new color, and it is singed at the bottom with a little bit more like elasticity there.
That's so cool.
These are the pants.
Those are so awesome.
And they've been moving like crazy.
I would call them hot pants, personally.
Huh?
I would call them hot pants.
Oh, well, hot pants are a little shorter, but we call the fly dukes, which I don't know.
Oh, I mean, I like those. Okay, continue.
So we have these.
Okay.
Let's see. Let's go through a cello top. So cello tops, originally I was doing them in the yarn thread. So this is my very, very first one I did in college, actually. So this is the first one.
Oh, that's cute.
And it's very durable. It stretches as well. It's like a little bit of microfiber inside of the yarn thread itself. So it's cotton. However, it's a little elastic in there as well. So they stretch really well. They're swimmable as well. So I've kind of taken this and created a bunch of stuff from it, but I started also trying to support other crocheters and crafters, especially Black-owned businesses. And so I was introduced to UB Yarn from another crocheter. Her name is Rosemary. And so she has her own crochet line, which is really cool because the colors are mixed. And I naturally mix colors like this anyway. And I think you all, most of you at least, and Sherry, you purchased a Seiji kit before.
Yes, I have one of those.
Which I got these manufactured in China before, and I was, kind of like having a feeling about it just because I felt like with my nonprofit, especially going into Africa and doing work, that if I could, I would like to, develop female enterprise, which I have done so, which I will be launching next week. And same design,
amazing,
but with the Ankara print. So now I have them done in African print.
Oh,
and with coming around the corner, it's a celebration of Black heritage. So we have bags now, Black-owned yarn in there too, along with a few other goodies. So that's going to be coming next week. And the reason why I call these the Power of the Stitch, because the women that I am working with for these are actually from the same tribe, the Maasai tribe, of the girls that I worked with for Believe in What You Dream, my last round in Tanzania. So,
wow.
And I got it done in COVID. I am so proud of this moment.
That is amazing.
Yeah.
Those bags are awesome. Those bags are awesome.
A few colors.
Oh my gosh. Oh wow, there are a lot. So these aren't available yet.
I'm going to start the pre-sale next week.
Wait, so this is more breaking news. There's
breaking news.
This is breaking news continuously. On this hackathon, we have had a lot of breaking news. This is very exciting. Okay, continue. Okay.
I also wanted to test out the yarn that I was just showing you to show that, not only am I saying support Black-owned businesses, but I'm about that as well. So I did a line of the cello tops and the yarn that I was just showing you. And they're part of the shoot that I just did in Mexico. These are other ones I did this for when we're talking now. But
oh, cute.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, wait, are those tops?
Yeah, they're,
Oh, okay. I don't know that I would be able to wear that.
No, but you'll be able to wear it when I make a sweater like this.
Yes. I would need a little bit more fabric.
Yeah.
I'm being honest. It's just, the reality.
Yes. But again, within making things for folks, you think about their comfort zone. You want them to wear it. You don't want them to be uncomfortable because that just starts a whole other thing to happen.
Truth.
Yes.
I love all your pieces. By the way, I meant to ask you earlier. I asked you about your hat, but someone was asking about your top, and I think they were asking about that blue fringy top that you were wearing.
So those, I should have brought all of them in here, but I didn't want to be overwhelming. This is already enough, right? I overwhelmed.
You know what? honestly, Chantal, the fact that you're aware of the energy and just like the jazz that you bring, I love that about you. I love it so much. I also want to point out that a lot of the guests that I've had on the She Show, and some of the most inspiring guests as of late, have been through you. You have been such a connector to, I mean, first off, you are just such a connector in general. Just really, just like literally, I feel like you're an octopus of a person. Just like putting your tentacles out there, just connecting people. And I think it's such a beautiful thing because you really are just trying so hard for everyone to stay together. And that's beautiful. And then, not to mention, when I reached out to you and I said, hey, I think that these people are awesome. Do you think you can connect me to them? And you're like, yeah, sure. Here's a list. And yeah, literally. And
another list. I just haven't sent it because I was like, oh, this is going to be one of those. You know what you're saying earlier, where you're like, people know that you're the crier and people are concerned. Like, I know I'm overwhelming. I know. Right? And that's
but you know what? I get it because I also come in with a lot of energy. I said, and my mom laughed. I was like, maybe that's why I'm still single.
Hey, you know what? Ha! That's a podcast.
Yeah, I have a lot of energy, and that's why I'm still single. Would you listen? I don't know. I still have people listening to me, and I've been talking for almost, I don't know.
Yeah, it's inspiring.
No.
And I would say that the reason, because there's always a reason for the things that we do, correct? Mm-hmm. And one of the reasons why I'm so like adamant about just promoting and putting people out there is because, if we're looking at biblical terms of like, you treat your neighbor how you want them to treat you, right? And going through, I mean, when I tell you it's been 20 years, like I've been through the ringer with things, and at any moment, someone could have just turned around, saw me, and just open a door or just provide just an ounce of advice. There's plenty on the table. Perfect example, we get to see them all the time, like just if you just pay attention in life. Like, but the biggest one for me that I think is most recent, that's probably the most significant, was the fact that when we were going into Tanzania during the trip, we went from Morocco. I worked with 30 girls in Morocco. Of those 30 girls, I'm still working with 3 of them. They have businesses. They're in university now. For me, and this idea, if I could just double it, like double that group. And then I said, okay, let's do 10 times. I'm going to be in East Africa for a month. Let's make it 300. We get to the school after driving 8 hours through the Serengeti. And I mean, it just, it's mind blowing because you get to see what abundance means. Like here we are driving, and my mom has a succulent garden, right? There's one of the succulents out there that when it's blooming and blossoming, it has these yellow flowers on it. When we're driving through the Serengeti, there was a tree the size of a redwood tree in California, like huge, towering, that was like this small succulent, big, huge. Right? And I'm like, oh my God, this can't be the same plant, but it is. So we're driving. We get to see all this land where you just like, you're looking so far down land, it's just endless. We get to the school. Here I am to work with the 30 girls. We're going to go to 10 schools. I'm here to work with 30 here. We're going to go, to 9 more schools. Get to the school. We're in the middle of the Serengeti. Like we're in the middle of nowhere. If there was a term of middle of nowhere.
Oh, where'd you go?
Where'd you go? Middle of nowhere. And we get to the school, and there's 2,000 kids at the school. So when I look at hat, not hate, I'm doing hats, you're doing hats. There's so much abundance. I have no problem supporting you, period. I understand where it comes from. We have an end goal. So if it's pushing each other along, lifting each other up, whether it's a phone call, a smiley face, to be present is enough.
It's true.
That's what we all should do. And if we're going to promote that and push that we want somebody to support us and come in, be reflective of your words.
100%. I think it's, it's almost kind of, I'm going to go back to earlier when I had my junior ambassador, Braden. It's kind of like walking the walk. You can be a part of the Hat Not Hate photo shoot, but it's also kind of like taking the actual message and then spreading it. It's not just getting to get to do the cool things. It's really like doing the work.
It's doing the work.
It's doing the work, and there is no question that you, Chantel, do the work, and you inspire others to do the work, and other people feed off your energy, whether it is intensity, whatever it may be. It is beautiful, because I mean, like I said, I have a lot of energy too, and I think that sometimes people, it's almost like we have the energy and you and I bring the energy, and people need that. It's almost like we're bringing the seeds, and people,
Because I don't know for you, but like for instance, you've been in your seminars or when you're going to drop off the hats, and you see the face, the expression from dull to excitement happening.
Oh man,
right in front of you.
Oh man. When just in February, when I was able to do a hat drop, and I told them that these kids that they got to pick these hats, and they're like, "We get to keep these?"
Wait, I spoke to you that day.
Yeah,
we did our interview that day. Exactly.
Yes. It was the coolest thing. It was the coolest thing because you get to keep these, and I know the people out there that are making these hats for you, and they care so much about you, and they've never even met you. Like, how cool is that?
And to even just take that, because it's not only about the work that's being done international, but it's the work of just being present. I was always trained and taught that, you don't always have to say something, but when you are addressed to say something, speak with power and speak with efficiency so that people walk away with something. And it doesn't matter. It doesn't have to come from an adult. It can come from kids. I love talking to kids because they have powerful messages all the time.
Kids are smart. Kids are smart, and I do not think that parents give their kids enough credit sometimes, especially after I keep on quoting this one kid. I don't know where in all the footage we have of Hat Not Hate in our interviews. I remember this one kid talking and saying, like, we all have blood, we all have bones, we're all human. And it just, and what makes us unique is, that part is what the kid said, but my additional comment to that is what makes us different, like what makes us unique is what makes us special. Mm-hmm. And it shouldn't be targeted. And I think that I think that everything that you're doing, I've loved everything that you've done from day one when we met, and I do appreciate just even when you're just, hey girl, hey, always makes me smile. I'm like, yes, she's meeting my energy. Mm-hmm. And I love your designs, your colors, everything, your brightness. I know. So can you show the final hat again that you are giving? So earlier, someone hopefully won the giveaway.
You see the Vanna wave?
Oh, the Vanna. Oh, very nice.
It's really
very nice. Yes. Okay. So I don't know when we're going to announce all these winners, John, producer John.
It's going to be in the morning.
It's probably going to be in the morning.
Okay, so the second one is actually I'm going to finish it by the time it's going, but the second one is because I wanted to make sure that I put one out for Pride.
Wow!
Share this story too. Is that growing up, my Uncle Harry, that we call Junior, my favorite uncle, he was a transmitter of, or ended up getting HIV first and then AIDS. And my mom, my grandmother, and I were his care providers. And, you know, he was just my favorite uncle. You know, growing up, I was just like, Mom, I'm gonna go see my uncle who acts like a lady. You know, like just me being a little kid honest, right? And I got to see the journey of, you know, the disease attacking his body, right? And it went from, it was kind of like tingly, missing in the feet, to paralyzed from the knee down, waist down, and ultimately to brain. But here it is. This is someone that, you know, like I would light up to see and spend time with. We shared like music and dancing. These are things that I still carry with me today, right? To one day I walk in, and I'll never forget, I was 12 years old, and I'm like, Uncle Junior, what you doing? And he did not know who I was. And thankfully for me, I have like the memories to hold on to. And so when I think about stitches and the power of, like, I was still a new crocheter during that time, but during that time I was definitely like making hats and, you know, trying my best to make it all the same size so I can have something to show, but to spend time. And I want those who are here listening to understand that we are all different, not because of the way we look, but the way we're created. And we're all created different. You might, you know, by the way we wear our hair, to the way we speak, to things we do, but the things that we're inspired by. And we have a right to show up and be who we are.
100%.
And looking at the mission behind Hat Not Hate, you know, immediately when it's a no-brainer. Not only because of that story I told you, but I'm a Black woman who's a creative, who's actually really smart, who's always been a unicorn. You know, and I had to learn to show up, and I didn't have to learn it because everyone around me embraced me. And I want every little girl to have that experience. I can't speak to the experience of a little boy because I can only speak to the one that I have a journey of. But I want every little girl to have that experience. That one that when you were dropping off those hats and they're like, oh, I get to pick, that feeling that goes and rushes your body should be something that you should be able to turn on if you wanted to, turn it off when you don't want to use it, but turn it back on at the drop of a dime.
100%. Chantal, you could not have said that better. So hold on a second. I just want to be clear. So you finished that hat from the giveaway earlier, and there was a winner for that, I assume.
And for the second one.
And so now you are going to be, now there's a giveaway. So there's another giveaway, correct?
There's 2 giveaways.
Oh my gosh. Oh my God. All right. So hold on a second. At almost 2:00 in the morning, you're making me having to think really extra hard. Okay.
Here we go. To you.
No. I want to give the people what they want, and people want free things. It's giveaway time. That's right. Overlay it.
It's giveaway time.
Giveaway time. All right. Subject. Okay, here we go, everybody. You know the drill. Email hatathon@hatnothate.org. Email hatathon@hatnothate.org. Email hatathon@hatnothate.org. Subject line, Chantal. Subject line, Chantal. That's right. Okay. Now.
Or you can put Ladybug if it's easier.
No. Chantal, don't confuse the system, Chantal. Don't confuse it. Don't confuse the system. There's a system to the madness. Don't confuse the system. Okay.
Just imagine.
For this amazing granny square hat. Okay? For the amazing granny square hat. That was the one that she's giving away earlier. Okay? But it will be looking something similar to this. This granny square hat. Please email hatathon@hatnothate.org with the subject line Chantal with the question. Hold on, don't just email. You got to answer the question. Answer the question. I'm moving slow, guys. It's 2:00 in the morning. Okay, Give me a beat. Okay, where did Chantel do her photo shoot?
That's a good one.
Thanks. I was listening. Hopefully you were too. All right, everybody. So again, email hatathon@hatnotheat.org. Subject line, Chantel, with your name and your address, answering the question, where did Chantel do her photo shoot? Do you know the answer?
Shantelle, just so you have the name spelled correct. Shantell.
Okay. All right. Chantel, thank you so much for joining me. You're the best.
You're welcome.
You're the best. I'm almost there. Got 10 more hours. This is easy peasy. I got this in the bag.
Yes. Hopefully you have water around you.
Oh, man. I'm in the clear, if you know what I mean. All right.
All right, girl.